Hello there, SL1 once again. This is my Dark Souls 3, Soul Level 1, New Game plus 7, no damage run. This is Slave Knight Gael. This is probably the hardest fight in the game for me. I am proud of what I've done here in this video, but at the same time I'm disappointed in myself. And I'm just disappointed in how I play at certain moments. Like, you're going to see one of the best first phases of Gael you might have ever seen. It's aggressive, I know exactly what he's going to do, I punish almost all of it, I get some really nice crisp punishes, it's a good fight. And the reason for this is I've done it so many times. This boss has over 20,000 HP, and I do 170 damage in hyper mode. That is not how this game should be. This boss has way too much resistance, way too much life, and it completely makes it miserable for players who don't like hitting things a million times like I don't. Even with all this said, I still think this is a great fight. I just wish those variables were lower, I really do. And what it does is, it makes me nervous for the later phases, and it makes me contradict myself. I overthink it, I go against stuff I know to be functional, and I end up getting a really cowardly third phase. The first phase goes well, the second phase goes pretty decent, even though I do struggle with the second phase, and then the third phase, I only punish one attack. Because the other ones, I was punishing them fine, and then I got hit by some silly bullshit, and it's a reset. And then when you have to do it all again, it puts me in a really foul mood, and I just play worse. And that's what you're going to witness here. It's a very tense fight, but at the same time, I know I can do better. And it's unfortunate that I can't get this the way I want it, like the way I want it to be. And hopefully, over time, I can come back and bring another video where I do a really definitive third phase Gael. And I just demolish him in like 4 minutes. That would be lovely. You'll also notice, guys, I'm not buffing my weapons other than the Lothric banner, and I'm not using poison. That is intentional. I wanted this to be kind of mano a mano, so it did make it harder, but at the same time, the problems I have with this fight are all just fundamental ones. I don't like the crossbow. I don't like the hit detection on certain moves. I don't like his health. Like, that's it. Like, it's a small list of gripes in the grand scheme of things. And you might be wondering, well, I think the hitboxes are pretty good. Well, you've obviously never tried to run under some of the jump attacks, because when you get hit by those, there's nothing more depressing in the world, because they've got incredible tracking, and they hit you, like, he hits you with his coxie. It doesn't even touch you, but he hits you with, like, phantom range. And that's not mentioning the times when he pulls the crossbow out and you roll into it, and he turns to the right and he somehow manages to hit you. Like, that happens a lot as well. And then there's how many times you have to hit him to get him back to these phases. It's just... it's hard. It's really hard, and I have the utmost respect for players who've embarrassed this boss, because at the moment, I just can't seem to do it. But the second phase went really well here. I'm getting in hits when I need them, I'm punishing accordingly, I'm getting 1 to 2 hits, missing the overheads, teasing out the next move in the sequence, teasing out the crossbow, trying to be aggressive, using the most of my buff, but when that buff runs out, this just gets nightmarish. So, getting a hit before the overhead, he pulls it out of the ground, I get another cheeky hit, he comes with a second overhead, he doesn't combo, I watch what he does, there's the overhead, there's the cheeky hit, here's the start of the combo, we pray for the third hit for the max punish of 3 hits, and then after this he'll do another overhead, or he'll do the charge, wait for it, roll under it, hit him twice. What does he do, overhead? No, pulls the crossbow out, so roll towards it, or run towards it, depending on what you're comfortable with, nice cheeky hit, move out of the way of the cape, crossbow again when suddenly... Stupid machine, hate that fucking move. It's ruined more runs than you'll ever know. There's the overhead, into a quick slash. Here's the starter of the combo. Does the second hit, does he do the third hit? He does not. Get a quick hit, crossbow again. Roll into crossbow, overhead. Does he continue, pulls the sword out, 1 hit. Second hit, transform, hit him twice, then get out of there. So third phase begins. This is 4 minutes, right? Third phase takes 10 minutes. 4-minute Gael up to third phase 10 minutes. That's the fundamental failure of me, that. Because I lose my buff, I don't get an opportunity to rebuff, and I'm not going to punish this move even though I know exactly how to do it. And it's all because of nerves. I have no excuse. I'm just not good enough. But bait the 3-hit combo, I'll move away from it. Here comes the jump. This can be tricky to dodge sometimes, that. You can also use it to get the third hit if you're close enough, but he didn't do it then. So there's the overhead, into the spin. He can sometimes do the third hit on that. He vanishes, so just sprint away. If you sprint away, this will never hit you. Of course, you want to move towards it, but I got hit by the blobs 3 times. Who gets hit by the blobs? Nobody gets hit by the blobs but me. I didn't even know you could get hit by them until I was recording this. And it put me in such a foul mood. Like, It's amazing what you can do in this game when you're confident, but the moment that confidence lapses, you just turn into a pussy, and that's what this is. I only punished that move you just saw then. I get 3 hits on that, and I don't really hit anything else. And he keeps doing this move, which I should punish, but I'm not doing it. And every single attempt before this, I was punishing that move, but I'd just get hit by something stupid. And it just it shattered the hopes of this being a good fight, so yeah. But the one good thing to come from this is if you're struggling with Gael at all, I can show you how to survive against him. I can show you a lot of ways to punish him, a lot of ways to stay in the pocket and get what needs to be done. Like, I know how to do this. It's just doing it. It's that weird adage, isn't it? Like, I started to get a few hits on that, but he started getting a bit capricious with the crossbow, which I wasn't too happy about. A couple of hits on that. But I think he could have the same amount of life that he has if you just halved his resistance. And I've done some interesting things with this boss too after I beat him, just to try and test how much his resistance really is. So I got a sword. It was a level 1 sword. It was a long sword. And I modded the damage value on it. I modded it so it had 5,000 attack, which in this game at this moment in time, I think the highest AI you can get is about 2,000 and change. And that's if you're really squeezing. And I fought the bosses with this sword, and suffice to say they didn't do very well. Most of the bosses died in a couple hits. Like, most of them died in 1 to 2 hits, because it just did so much damage. Gael, I hit him with it. It didn't even put me to the second phase. It took like 2 to 3 hits to put me to the second phase, which just goes to show how ridiculous he is. He's so much more inflated than anything else. Like, the Demon Prince is inflated, Medea's inflated, but this dude is the king of inflation. He is a wheelbarrow full of worthless money. Like, that's who he is. And I really love this fight. I'm just so bad at it. Like, it's... And I think it is a personal thing. I think it's this idea that once I realise I'm hitting something a lot, it kind of just puts me off. Have you ever done that on Guitar Hero where you realise you're playing really well on Guitar Hero and the moment you kind of acknowledge that you're playing well, you drop a note? I do that all the time. In Guitar Hero, I'm at my best when I'm not thinking about it. The moment I think about it, I fuck up. And I think this is the same. The moment I start realising like it's going well, and I'm punishing everything correctly, I make a mistake, and because of just how long the fight is, because of his resistances, it's just expounded by how long it takes to get back to where I fell. And I am a man of very little patience for tedium. Like, I can do some boring shit if I feel like it's working towards something, but refighting phases is just not my idea of fun. Like, if I could have save stated in the 3rd phase, I would have done it, just so that I could get a super sexy fight and beat him in like a minute, because I knew I could be super aggressive, because when I die, I'd be back at the fight that beat me, not the bullshit 2nd phase and 1st phase then. 1st phase is no, nah, I can embarrass the 1st phase. Like, I've even done the 1st phase without rolling, but I didn't want to share that one because I didn't want to edit the fights. Like, a lot of people kind of look down on you editing in, you know, the best ones in a sequence, because it's, I don't know, it's a weird thing, and I don't really care too much about those people, but I want this to be as legit as I can make it, because that's what Hado did. You know, Hado just got in there, got it done, and there's the frame rate. Always nice to see the frame rate dropping during a really scary fight. But yeah, this is such a sad watch for me. A really sad one. 2 hits, get out. You can buff here if you want to, but once again, no buffs on this encounter. Here he comes again. And it's that weird thing, like, I know exactly what to do. I'm not afraid of it. Normally oh god, I'm afraid of this. This is panic mode engaged. Where's he going to be? Is he going to teleport? Oh no, he's there, We're good. There we go. There you go. Love it. Back into the rhythm. Back into the... Don't know why I'm rolling that. That's a sloppy one. There's this spin around, turn a cape. I didn't find any differences with this fight on 60 frames per second either, because the frame rate on the console is really good in this fight. It does a good job, and because of Gael's attacks are so slow, you don't really have to react any faster because of the 60. Like, compared to Nameless, you know, Nameless does that thrust from the air that's not the big one. That one was such a surprise, it was something else. Oh, another good thing too here, on one of the failed attempts, I managed to get Gael hit by the lightning, which was cool. He barely flinches, he just kind of... It's like Arnold Schwarzenegger in Raw Deal. Takes a bullet, doesn't care. It'd be good if the lightning did massive damage. Then again, it'd be good if the lightning didn't exist, because I don't think it really adds much. It just makes this like a clusterfuck of different things happening. Oh, and that's the thing too. Remember how I mentioned that the Elder Gru has the skulls that come off of Gael's cape? Do you think that has any significance? You know, in Bloodborne, these skulls are in that. You know those fishing hamlet mages that fire those blue skulls? It's the exact same model as the skulls that come off of Gael's cape. It's the exact same model as the skulls that comes off those Grus. The only difference is it's blue. Straight up asset reuse. It's kind of weird. Like, does that mean that like the fishing hamlet was the origin of the Dark Soul? Reddit, please! I'm destroying all of your literature. I have no idea. Like, I think those blobs would look cooler if they were skull faces. And all my settings are on max, so if they are skull faces, they don't look like it. But how do you oh god, frame rate, Jesus, please. Scary, scary, scary. Look at it. Such a coward. What a shame. The good news, guys, the next fight is Cinder, and that's the end of it. And that's a really aggressive fight, so if you want to see a picturesque encounter against Mr. Cinder, that is exactly what you're going to witness. And it came about pretty quickly. To which I can tell you the story, because this is a fucking eternity of fighting right now. This is like a Dragon Ball Z episode with the filler in it. It's amazing. So, I killed Soul of Cinder when I had my game muted, because I needed to practice his second phase, so I ended up watching a film while I was doing it. And I watched the Last Man on Earth with Vincent Price, which I'm almost certain is I Am Legend, or it's taken from that book, because it's I Am Legend with vampires. And I didn't realise that's what it was, but I had a lot of fun watching it. I think it's from like the 50s. It was black and white, but it was a really cool movie. I enjoyed it. And I was just practising Phase 2 Cinder, Phase 2 Cinder, and I just kept on scrimming him for about an hour and a half. And then I thought, I'll have one attempt before I go to bed, and maybe I'll get it. And I did. But I'd muted the volume, so the footage had no sound. So today I turned it on, and I put the volume back on, and I re-recorded him. And I got him in 15 minutes, which is really good news, because that means that I might be getting a bit more consistent with Soul of Cinder. Because the first time I did him on New Game Plus 5, it took about 4 or 5 hours on Xbox One because of the shitty frame rate, and because I'm just not very good at that fight. On New Game Plus 6, it took about 4 hours as well, once again. I'm blaming the frame rate, because it's much easier on higher frame rates, you can react better. And then this took about... The first attempt took about an hour and 40 minutes, the second attempt took 15 minutes, so that's a positive increase in consistency. But once again, if you don't think that good old Lord of Cinder is not RNG, then you're mistaken, because some of the phases that you get there, if he's a bitch and he does all the bad stuff, like if you think he's going to cast Soul Mass, and he casts Soul Spear, and he's got those on, and then he goes into like Pyro or the Spear phase, the Lance phase, then you're going to be in for a horrible night, because dodging the Soul Masses with those aggressive movesets is brutal. It's really brutal. But I've got really good at consistently punishing Spear phase. I'm not as scared of the magic phase, because I'm good at that one too. It's the Pyro phase for me. Like, I was working on punishes for that phase, and then he killed me with a sidestep, and it was like, I'm not even engaging this one because it's garbage. So the only time I punish it is when he does the charge. But there was Gael, guys. There's the level 1. I was incredibly nervous at the end of that. I'm just happy it's done. I'm going to get better at that fight, and I'm going to share a video with the same stipulations where I kill him in like 4 or 5 minutes, and the third phase is the most aggressive and most disgusting pornography you've ever watched. But up until that point, this will have to do. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the finale and the end of our no damage run.